Hello, and my name is Andre Theodore, and today we're going to configure our DNS server. So let's go start, and we go straight to administrative tools, and you could see the DNS snapping is here already because I already installed the DNS when Active Directory was installed. And as you can see, we here in the DNS drop down under my server name, server 2, we have our forward lookup zone and our reverse lookup zones. So the forward lookup zones changes a name into an IP address, and the reverse lookup zone changes an IP address to a name. And this is what DNS is all about, because computers do not understand names like computer 1 or computer 2 or whatever you name your computer. Computers on the whole understand IP addresses, and this is a role that domain name server or domain name system plays. DNS, it translates those names that human understand into IP addresses for the computer to understand. So let's go ahead and create a forward lookup zone. So let's click on the drop down here. I click on the forward lookup zone here and say new zone. I'm going to click next, and this will be a primary zone. And here it says select how you want the zone data replicated. This is really here for backward compatibility if you have an older Windows 2000 server on your domain. But for now, we leave this as its default. I'm going to click next, and we can give it a zone name. The zone name can be the same as your domain name. Then go ahead and click next. And just for this tutorial, it's asking about dynamic update. So go ahead and just check allow both non-secure and secure dynamic updates. Click next. And it just asks you to confirm your information here, and go ahead and click on finish. So now let's go ahead and do a NS lookup on our ironstorm2.com. So let's go to start, run, CMD is already there, and just type NS lookup in your command prompt and type the name, and here you can see, because our forward lookup zone is already configured, it is resolving ironstorm2.com as the address 10.0.2.15, and this is perfectly correct. So now let's go back and configure our reverse lookup zone. That has not been configured as yet. So go ahead and click on reverse lookup zone. Then go ahead and add a new zone. Go ahead and click next. And you can go ahead here and leave this as the primary zone for now. And here again, this is very similar to the forward lookup zone. Select how you want your data replicated. And again, we will leave it here as the default, and it is for compatibility. So go ahead and click next, and choose whether you want to create a reverse lookup zone for IP version 4 addresses or 6. And yes, we are going to choose IP version 4. Go ahead and click next. And now it's asking for network ID. That will be 10.0.2 is the first three numbers in your IP address. And as you can see here, the numbers are reversed here for you automatically. So I'm going to click next. And just for this tutorial, you can allow both non-secure and secure dynamic updates because we're not going out onto the internet. And then you can review your settings here and go ahead and click finish. So now we have created our reverse lookup zone. We are going to create a pointer record so that our IP address points back to this DNS server. So let's go ahead and right click and new pointer, and go ahead and browse for host name, server 2, forward lookup zone, and it will be in the Ironstorm 2 active directory. And here it is, server 2 10.0.2.15 static, and go ahead and click OK. And OK all of this information. And then, after you've done this, to confirm it's pointing back at this server, let's right click right here where it says server 2 and launch NSLookup. And immediately as NSLookup launches, it resolves our server name with our IP address 10.0.2.1. And this is the default server, server.2.ironstorm2.com, our top level domain name here. So now that we know that it's working, so here's another example. If I, in my forward lookup zone here, if I, under my domain, and I right click, and I say, let's create a new host, and let's call it my computer, and we type in an IP address 10.0.2.5 and create associated pointer record like add host. It says host record successfully created, and let's see if this is true. When I click done, so go back to the NSLookup and type in the name of the host you just created, my computer, and as you can see here, it resolves it immediately. It's my computer on the ironstorm2domain.com, and it gives you the address 10.0.2.5 that we just created. And if you do it in reverse by typing in the numbers, it does the same thing. And this is an example of what the forward and reverse lookup zone does. So as you can see, the host A record is for computers on the network, printers, because all this holds is the name of the computer or printer and the IP address. And you also have, as you can see here, it's when I created this, it told me new host A or host quad A. The A is really the IP version 4 and the quad A is the IP version 6. That is the difference. But for this tutorial, we're only going to deal with the IP version 4. So now we are going to create a CNAME for this server, or canonical name, which is what the C stands for. It's just simply an alias for another name. So let's go ahead and click new alias CNAME here. And let's go ahead and just type www. So as you can see, our fully qualified domain name is now www.ironstorm2.com. And let's go ahead and browse for our target host, server 2, or forward lookup zone. Let's go into the Active Directory. And select the record, click OK, and click OK again. And then to confirm this, let's right click here on server 2 and launch NS lookup and type in the CNAME we just created, www.ionstorm2.com, and here you can see it has resolved the IP address and as well as our alias CNAME, www.ionstorm2.com. And yes, this is how you would also set up your DNS name for your website or web server, except for the website, your .com name would have to be registered as a top level domain name with the registrar authorities.
So now you can see here, record is created. Record was created for my client computer 7. That's the name of the host, and it's resolved as IP 10.0.2.30, and it even gives you the time that was done as well. And if we go across to the client or host computer, you would see the records in the DNS record in the IP config that is being delivered by this DNS server, because this DNS server is resolving the name to IP address and IP address to name. Now that we are on the client computer, just type run here, click on it, CMD, click OK, and type IP config here in the command prompt /all, and here you would see our specific DNS suffix ionstorm.com is resolving the IP addresses, and the DNS server here 10.0.2.5, that is correct, that is the server, and the IP address which we saw in the host records on the server just a minute ago, 10.0.2.30, and that's it. That's all it is to it for the DNS configuration. You could try this on your own and enjoy.